Welcome. Prepare for a huge wave of nostalgia. In this one-hour special, we'll discover how legendary locations from our beloved movies have changed over time. Please go and check out the original website in the description. The Exorcist. Georgetown University's Healy Hall became a chilling backdrop for the film's eerie sequences. The 19th century landmark also appeared in The Exorcist 3 years later. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Killamore Avenue and Granada Circle in Porter Ranch was where Elliot and his friends rode their bikes. The same intersection also appears later when the bubble breaks off. Halloween. The hedge where Michael Myers vanishes, terrifying Laurie Strode, is still standing between 1019 and 1025 Montrose Avenue in South Pasadena, a must-see for horror fans. Child's Coffee Shop. Once for Columbus Circle, New York City, it's now a Duane Reade pharmacy. But its cinematic charm from the classic film still lingers. The Goonies. Rosalita crosses the street at 304 37th Street in Astoria, Oregon. This quiet neighborhood played host to many memorable moments in the beloved 1980s adventure classic. Zodiac. The real 1969 Zodiac attack at Lake Berryessa was recreated on Knoxville Road in Napa, California. Hartnell survived 8 stab wounds, but Shepard tragically succumbed. Cat's Eye. General the Cat is kidnapped at Princess Street and North Front Street in Wilmington, North Carolina. This eerie corner played a key role in Quitters, Inc., one of the film's unsettling segments. Home Alone. The McAllister House in Winnetka, Illinois, remains a cherished holiday landmark of festive mischief and nostalgia. White Men Can't Jump. Billy and Sidney's first hustle took place at Trinity Street and East 22nd Street in Los Angeles. The basketball court at this intersection still attracts players looking to test their skills. Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives Comes Alive at Camp Daniel Morgan in Rutledge, Georgia. Horror fans can still feel the eerie magic of the 1980s slasher. The Godfather Radio City Music Hall in New York City, where this masterpiece premiered, still radiates the glamour and gravitas of Coppola's vision. Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. The speeder bike chase was filmed in Carlotta, California's Grizzly Creek Redwoods, a breathtaking location worthy of the galaxy far, far away. Breaking Bad. Walter White's first cook site and cache burial on Trail 7089 in New Mexico became an enduring symbol of his transformation. 10 Things I Hate About You. The statue under the bridge in Seattle remains a romantic spot for fans of this modern Shakespearean adaptation. Forrest Gump. Monument Valley, Utah, provided a breathtaking backdrop for Forrest's cross-country run, showcasing America's vast beauty. Terminator 2: Judgment Day. The legendary semi-truck jump took place in the Los Angeles Wash at Havenhurst and Plummer, an unforgettable action spectacle. The Goonies. The final scene was filmed at Goat Rock Beach, California. Its rugged cliffs and ocean backdrop made for the perfect spot for the Goonies' grand finale. Twins. The picturesque Morada Lane in Taos, New Mexico, set the scene for this beloved comedy. Its charm remains as memorable as DeVito and Schwarzenegger. E.T., the Extraterrestrial. The heartwarming tale took flight at Muirkirk Drive and Kinbray Street, Porter Ranch, California, a suburb forever tied to Spielberg's classic. The Exorcist. The McNeil House in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., framed Father Merrin's eerie arrival like a haunting work of art. It. Georgie's storm drain encounter at 3rd Street and Liverpool Street, New Westminster, British Columbia, is as chilling as ever for Stephen King fans. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? The Grape House in Pflugerville, Texas, has been demolished, but the trees and entrance fence still mark the location of this heartwarming film. Stand By Me. Ace Merrill's house in Brownsville, Oregon, is a nostalgic spot for fans of the 1980s classic, bringing the film's small-town charm to life. Star Wars: A New Hope. R2-D2's adventure kicked off in Death Valley's Artist's Drive, where the desert terrain perfectly captured Tatooine's vastness. Don't Be a Menace. Ashtray's house, also featured in Boys and the Hood, stands in Los Angeles. Built in 1923, this 1,196-square-foot home remains a piece of movie history. The Birds. Hitchcock turned Bodega Bay into a scene of terror, but the notorious schoolhouse, 7 miles inland, was preserved and remains a cherished relic. Children of the Corn. Hanson's Cafe, once at 312 Main Street in Hornick, Iowa, burned down in 2008. The lot remains empty, but the buildings seen across the street in the film still stand. It. Pennywise appears ominously in a photo album filmed at the Burnaby Village Museum in Burnaby, British Columbia. A haunting moment fans won't forget. Twins. Granger's house in Pasadena was where Danny DeVito's character lived. A fun detail. The boy bouncing the basketball is Jason Reitman, who later directed Ghostbusters: Afterlife. Joe Dirt. This comedic journey through absurdity features several memorable locations, capturing the quirky adventures of its titular character. The Godfather Don Vito Corleone's assassination attempt on Mott Street, New York City, was filmed directly across from Genco. The block oozes cinematic history. Stand By Me. The unforgettable train dodge scene was filmed at Jenkins and Lang Road, Cottage Grove, Oregon. A thrilling stop for movie buffs. Fast and Furious Toretto's Market, filmed at Bob's Food Market in Los Angeles, California, still brings back the adrenaline of the street racing saga. Children of the Corn. The school at 4th Street and 4th Avenue in Hornick, Iowa, was demolished after filming. A park now occupies the space, though the original sidewalk leading to the entrance remains. Pet Cemetery. The Eerie burial ground hides behind an Elks Lodge in Ellsworth, Maine. Though altered, remnants like tree roots and boulders reveal its cinematic past. The Quick and the Dead. The Mescal movie set in Arizona, built in 1969, served as redemption. This Old West town has hosted classics like The Outlaw Josie Wales and Tombstone. The Terminator. Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles was where the T-800 first arrived in 1984. This landmark has been featured in many films, but few as intense as this sci-fi classic. Easy Rider. The Pine Breeze Motel on Route 66, where Wyatt and Billy stop, is now part of the Pine Breeze Inn. Though the sign remains, the motel itself has long been abandoned. First Blood. The junkyard from Rambo's explosive debut remains tucked away near Quarry Road in Coquitlam, British Columbia, a quiet contrast to its cinematic mayhem. RoboCop. Alex Murphy's home is a private residence in Dallas, Texas. A quiet, unassuming house with a place in science fiction history. Witness. Intercourse, Pennsylvania, brought into the spotlight. The phone booth at Zimmerman's store and the Queen Road fight scene remain fan favorites. Diamonds Are Forever. James Bond's high-stakes adventure lit up downtown Las Vegas' Fremont Street. Though modernized, it still radiates classic Sin City energy. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The family house in Kingsland, Texas, still echoes the chilling vibes that made it the heart of the 1974 horror classic. Beverly Hills, 90210. The pilot episode takes us back to Beverly Hills, California. Relive the drama where the iconic 1990s series first came to life. It's a Wonderful Life. George Bailey's Bailey Park was actually filmed in La Cañada, Flint Ridge, California, now home to NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab. The Martini House still stands nearby. My Stepmother is an Alien. This suburban house was where Dan Aykroyd's scientist character met Kim Basinger's extraterrestrial visitor. The home still stands, but the science fiction romance remains unique. Big Trouble in Little China. San Francisco's Chinatown, a key setting for this cult classic, still brims with the same electric atmosphere. Day of the Dead. The eerie, zombie-filled setting still holds a cult following, a must-visit for fans of Romero's undead masterpiece. Don't be a menace to South Central. Sam's approach outside this charming 1922 Los Angeles home added an extra comedic touch to the parody classic. Zodiac, Mr. Ed's Burgers and Fries, now George's 50s Diner, has been a fixture since the 1950s. It also made an appearance in A Cinderella Story. The Karate Kid. Daniel first meets Allie at Leo Carrillo State Beach, 35,000 Pacific Coast Highway, Malibu. This scenic stretch of sand was also featured in countless other classic Hollywood films. Twilight Zone. The movie. Driftwood Convalescent Home in Peru, California, was where the elderly played kick the can. Though the town remains quiet, this classic scene still holds a nostalgic charm. The Game. Nicholas chases Conrad down Bush and Stockton Streets in San Francisco. He exits at the Stockton Street Tunnel's south entrance, a tense moment in this psychological thriller. Touch of Evil. The masterful 3-minute tracking shot through Venice, Los Angeles, helped secure this noir thriller's place in film history. Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. The rocky landscape of Death Valley National Park was used for R2-D2 and C-3PO's journey to Jabba's palace. Friday the 13th. The Price Lodge Shower House in New Jersey set the stage for one of the bloodiest moments in horror's summer camp legacy. Forrest Gump. The bridge run was filmed on the Woods Memorial Bridge in South Carolina, standing in for the Mississippi River as Forrest made his epic journey. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. The moment bikes take flight was shot in Granada Hills, California. White Oak Avenue's towering trees framed one of cinema's most magical escapes. Schindler's List. The haunting streets of Krakow's Old Town provided an eerily authentic setting for Spielberg's Holocaust masterpiece. Taxi Driver. Travis Bickle's tense showdown with Sport and Rescue of Iris took place at 204 East 13th Street in New York City. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The house where Stacey Hamilton navigated teenage life remains largely unchanged. Though the film captured 1980s youth culture, Ridgemont High itself was fictional. Joyride. The Lone Star Motel, where terror unfolded, was a key setting in the film. Though fictional, similar roadside motels still dot the desolate highways of the Southwest. Rocky V. Mighty Mick's Gym stood at 2147 North Front Street in Philadelphia. Rocky's street fight with Tommy Gunn erupted right outside on East Susquehanna Avenue, marking a brutal finale. Psycho. The chilling Bates Motel and House remain staples at Universal Studios, still giving visitors a shiver decades after Hitchcock's masterpiece. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger's chilling reveal in the dimly lit passage still lingers in the nightmares of those who revisit Elm Street. The Goonies Fratelli's hideout, filmed at Ecola State Park in Oregon, remains a fan-favorite spot for treasure-hunting nostalgia. Young Guns. Lincoln, New Mexico, was the real setting for Billy the Kid's legendary story. Los Cerrillos stood in for the town, preserving the Old West feel of the film. The Silence of the Lambs, Moxley's Drugs, a key location in Clarice's investigation, was shot in Homestead, Pennsylvania, a chilling backdrop for this iconic thriller. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Whisper Rock Golf Club was one of the quirky stops in the duo's bodacious journey through time and space. Trick or Treat. The Eerie school bus scene was filmed on West 36th Avenue in Vancouver. As it travels east, the tension builds, leading to one of the film's most haunting sequences. The Outsiders. Tasty Freeze in Owasso, Oklahoma, was at 10,603 East 86th Street North. It was demolished between 1995 and 2003. Replaced by a gas station. Ader Stadium remains in the background. Stand By Me. The Blue Point Diner, a key location in Gordy's world, still stands in Brownsville, Oregon, holding on to the spirit of the beloved film. Back to the Future. Marty skateboards home at Cagle Canyon Street and Sandusky Avenue in Arleta, California. This quiet suburban corner set the stage for one of his iconic time-traveling escapes. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The old Crawford Mill in Walburg, Texas, is actually a former cotton gin. Seen near 4601 Farm to Market Road 1105, it once hid a 1960 Chevrolet Viking grain truck. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Pee-wee's hilarious face-off with Francis happened at this Pasadena house. Its bright colors have faded, but its legacy hasn't. Back to the Future. The Start Here line from the clock tower sequence was filmed on a scenic road in Los Angeles, a key moment in film history. Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary wanders into traffic near Fifth Avenue in New York, with a historic church standing across from her. National Lampoon's Vacation. The gas station scene perfectly captures the Griswold family's road trip misadventures. Though the exact station has changed, the comedic chaos remains unforgettable. E.T. Bicycle Chase. The thrilling chase at Darby and Beaufort Avenue in Porter Ranch, California, remains one of the most memorable scenes in science fiction cinema. Back to the Future Part 3. Marty McFly's jump back to 1985 was filmed at a peaceful beach in Port Hueneme, California, an ideal setting for a time travel landing. Ghostbusters. The famous headquarters at 14 North Moore Street, New York, is a working firehouse. Built in 1903, it still displays the Ghostbusters 2 sign inside. The interiors were shot in Los Angeles. Black Christmas. The sorority house was filmed at a historic Vancouver building, adding to the film's eerie atmosphere. It. Henry Bowers bullies Ben at Trimble Street and West 3rd Avenue, Vancouver, British Columbia. The eerie setting perfectly complements the story's dark tone. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The infamous family house in Kingsland, Texas, still gives visitors chills. Now a restaurant, it serves food instead of fear. The Exorcist. The steep Georgetown steps where Father Karras met his fate are now as legendary as the film itself. Boys and the Hood. The 1923-built homes, also seen in Don't Be a Menace, merged realism with cinematic history. RoboCop. Dallas City Hall, transformed with matte effects, served as the ominous OCP headquarters in this dystopian classic. Leprechaun 3. The Golden Nugget in Las Vegas provided the flashy backdrop for the third Leprechaun film. The casino's neon glitz perfectly matched the horror comedy's chaotic energy. The Ring. Samara's haunting well was a prop in Stanwood, Washington. While the location exists, the real terror lived in the film's eerie atmosphere. Psycho. The tension-filled drive on Gorman Post Road, California, is still an eerie reminder of Hitchcock's masterpiece and its enduring legacy. First Blood. The junkyard scene, set north of Quarry Road in Coquitlam, British Columbia, adds to the gritty realism of Rambo's intense story of survival. The Wraith. Carrie Johnson's house at 2128 East 5th Street in Tucson, Arizona, was built in 1927. The massive tree in front of the home, seen in the film, was removed in 2019. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Near 1272 Chris Kelly Boulevard in Hutto, Texas, the hitchhikers kicked out of the van. The once rural road has since widened, and the field behind him is now an industrial site. Cobra. The rock store in Cornell, California, set the stage for Stallone's gritty action scenes. It remains as tough and iconic as the movie itself. Ocean's 11. The Rat Pack schemed at Las Vegas Sands Hotel. Replaced by the Venetian, its mid-century glamour is now just a legend. The Shining. The exterior of the Torrance family's apartment was filmed in Boulder, Colorado, setting the stage for their descent into madness. American History X. Archie's Ranch Market in North Hollywood, California, still stands as a recognizable location from the film's intense and unforgettable scenes. The Curse of La Llorona, St. Brendan Catholic Church in Los Angeles, built in 1927, also appears in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Fight Club, and November Rain. The Twilight Zone. Christian's arrival at Joe's Air Flight Cafe created a pivotal, atmospheric moment in this eerie anthology film. Once Upon a Time in the West, the iconic Hanging Arch, located in the Utah desert, requires a 2-mile hike or all-terrain vehicle to access. Rocky, the Philadelphia Museum of Art steps remain a cinematic icon, with tourists still running up them, echoing Rocky's legendary training sequence. The Godfather, Don Vito Corleone's funeral, was filmed at a historic cemetery in Queens, New York, the resting place of over 3 million people. Psycho. Marion Crane's uneasy stop at a Phoenix traffic light proved Hitchcock's mastery of suspense in the most ordinary locations. Terminator 2: Judgment Day. The Sun Valley Bridge set the stage for one of cinema's most intense chases, as the T-1000 pursued John Connor in a relentless pursuit. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This Taco Bell in Tustin served as a backdrop for the film. At the time of filming, it was closed, adding to its nostalgic atmosphere. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's Spahn Ranch, once a Western film set, later became the Manson family's hideout. Now a park, its ruins hint at its haunting history. The Hitcher. The haunting Imperial Sand Dunes, California, served as the backdrop for this thriller. Its eerie beauty is just as striking today. Fright Night, Part 2. This eerie mansion, featured in the cult horror sequel, stands as a chilling relic of its vampire-filled nightmare. Ghostbusters. The Stay Puft, Marshmallow Man's menacing march past Columbus Circle in New York City delivered an unforgettable climax. The Goonies. Fratelli's hideout at Ecola State Park, Oregon, provided a spooky yet thrilling launchpad for the kids' treasure hunt. The Flintstones. The vibrant world of Bedrock came to life with oversized props and colorful sets for this live-action cartoon adaptation. Wayne's World Wayne's basement may have been fictional, but this Van Nuys house was the real-life exterior for Wayne and Garth's rock-filled antics. Party on! Pulp Fiction. The creepy pawnshop scene, where things took a dark turn, remains one of the film's most infamous moments. U-turn. Harlan's garage was on East Magma Heights Drive in Superior, Arizona. Nothing remains today except a few palm trees. The land is now owned by Resolution Copper Company. Friday the 13th. Camp No Bebosco in New Jersey served as Camp Crystal Lake, where Jason's legend began. The Fox Cabin remains a fan favorite location. Fire in the Sky. Ray's Cafe in Oakland, Oregon served as the small-town diner where Travis Walton's alien abduction story unraveled. The real location still stands, preserving its eerie past. Raising Arizona. The trailer sits on community land near Scottsdale, Arizona, surrounded by a desert setting. Pulp Fiction. Butch parks in North Hollywood, but his old path home is now blocked by an apartment complex built in 2017. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Dream Warriors, the iconic Weston Hills Psychiatric Hospital, was filmed at UCLA's Royce Hall, lending a haunting academic atmosphere to the scene. Forrest Gump. Forrest and his mother's walk was filmed on Main Street in Barnville, South Carolina. The barbershop is now a chiropractic clinic, but the street remains. Drive, the diner scene, was filmed at Saugus Cafe in Santa Clarita, California. A historic eatery open since 1886 and frequented by Hollywood stars and film crews. Escape from Alcatraz, Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay, the infamous prison, was the setting for Clint Eastwood's daring escape. The Punisher, Maria and Will's tragic deaths were filmed at a scenic pier near Tampa Bay, Florida. Rocky. The stretch where Rocky trained along Philadelphia's Kelly Drive is still as inspiring as his iconic run up the Art Museum steps. The Hills Have Eyes. Fred's Oasis, west of Palmdale, California, now lies in ruins, but once set the stage for the film's eerie desert terror. Forrest Gump. The famous bench scenes were filmed in Savannah's Chippewa Square. The bench itself was a prop. One now resides in the Savannah History Museum. Behind the Mask, the rise of Leslie Vernon. Leslie Vernon's farmhouse, built in 1912, still stands in Beaverton, Oregon, offering the perfect eerie horror setting. White Men Can't Jump. The Ocean Breeze Motel in Los Angeles was later renamed the Cinema Motel. Though changed, it remains linked to the film's classic street ball scenes. Kill Bill. Bud's trailer sat 1.3 miles up Mule Canyon Road, Yermo, California. A rough dirt road leads to this spot, just miles from Dusk Till Dawn's Titty Twister Bar. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Big Top Burger in Watsonville, California, now Rico's Tacos, has been renovated, but its Killer Clowns legacy remains part of movie history. A Nightmare on Elm Street. The opening boiler room scenes were filmed inside the infamous Lincoln Heights Jail in Los Angeles. Stand By Me. The boys' journey ended in Brownsville, Oregon, where its quiet streets remain a nostalgic tribute to their unforgettable adventure. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. The Porter Ranch, California. Bus stop set the scene for Elliot's first great adventure in this heartwarming Spielberg classic. Poltergeist. The Freeling House in Simi Valley, California, is where the supernatural chaos begins, making it one of horror's most iconic suburban settings. Hell or High Water. T-Bone Cafe, once at 315 5th Street in Estancia, New Mexico, closed in 2017. The former Blue Ribbon Bar and Grill stood since 1903, while the bank across the street is now gone. Easy Rider. Sacred Mountain. Enco, a gas station off Highway 89 in Arizona, has been there since at least 1958. Wyatt and Billy made a stop here during their fateful road trip. Con Air. Built in 1943, this decaying pool was used until the 80s. Now, it's a haunting relic of a forgotten era in the Utah desert. Castaway. The Castaway Island scenes were filmed on Monariki Island in Fiji, a remote and stunning backdrop for Tom Hanks's survival story. Revenge of the Nerds. The Alpha Beta House was filmed in Tucson, Arizona, serving as a key location for the classic college comedy. The Godfather. Clemence's home in Brooklyn remains a piece of local history, built in the 1920s. The Hitcher Jim's tense highway ordeal was shot in desolate California roads. The Volkswagen scene took place on Barstow Road, a perfect backdrop for terror. Scarface. Tony Montana's empire was built on blood and ambition. This Sunset Boulevard location served as the backdrop for one of his high-stakes deals. Twelve Monkeys, a historic Philadelphia building, originally part of the 1876 Centennial Exposition, served as a backdrop for key scenes. The Goonies. The thrilling Fratelli chase ends at 1180 Pacific Drive, Cannon Beach, Oregon, where the dramatic coastal backdrop remains unchanged. The Wraith. The swimming hole scene was filmed at Sabino Creek in Arizona's Sabino Canyon, a breathtaking desert oasis where Jake's supernatural revenge unfolds. Drag Me to Hell. Christine Brown's house in Los Angeles adds a sense of suburban dread to the film with its unsettling, familiar setting. First Blood. The tense encounter between Rambo and Teasel was filmed in front of what is now Gardner Chevrolet in Hope, British Columbia. Hellraiser 3: Hell on Earth. The Pyramid Gallery in Greensboro, North Carolina, provided a chilling setting that enhanced the atmosphere of the movie. The Craft. The Witches' Beach ceremony was filmed at Sequoia Point in Malibu, the same location used for the eerie opening of Dead and Buried. High tide can make access tricky at times. The Goonies. Steph stands on the pier at East Mooring Basin in Astoria, Oregon, which provided the perfect coastal backdrop for this classic adventure film. Children of the Corn, Rantus. Mrs. Burke's house in Ramseur, North Carolina, set the stage for horror. The quiet, rural town provided the eerie atmosphere for this chilling sequel. Twin Peaks. The Sheriff's Department and Packard Sawmill shared a location in Snoqualmie, Washington. And now a rally school, it welcomes fans with the show's theme playing. Psycho. Marion's car sinks at Universal Studios Hollywood. The chilling lake scene remains one of Hitchcock's most iconic moments. Breaking Bad. Saul Goodman's flashy office, a sleazy but unforgettable legal landmark, remains one of TV's most recognizable spots. Vertigo. Jimmy Stewart's haunting pursuit unfolded in San Francisco's Western Addition, though landmarks like St. Paul's Lutheran Church now exist only in memories. Reservoir Dogs. Warehouse scenes were filmed in Los Angeles, creating a gritty, tense atmosphere for the film. Top Gun, the I Can't Hear You scene was filmed near a historic naval base in San Diego, an iconic spot for aviation enthusiasts. Mask, 1985. Dennis' house in Mask is located in Monrovia, California, an unassuming home where pivotal moments unfold. A Bullet. Steve McQueen's adrenaline-pumping car chase through San Francisco's steep streets redefined action filmmaking. Stand By Me. The tense railroad bridge scene was filmed at Dusty Campground in Bernie, California, forever remembered as a daring cinematic moment. Freddy vs. Jason, Blake's house, a 1922-built property in Vancouver, British Columbia, was the site of one of Jason's early murders. Friday Night Lights. The Dillon Bus Depot in Austin, Texas, became a memorable spot in the series, appearing in seasons 4 and 5. Seven. The famous chase scene was filmed near South Broadway and West 5th Street in Los Angeles, capturing the urban grit that defines the film. Warlock. In this Mojave location, the Warlock interacts with a young boy, set against the remote desert backdrop that enhances the film's unsettling atmosphere. Friday the 13th, 1980, Annie asked for directions at a small-town store in Hope, New Jersey, a location with history dating back to the 1930s. Beetlejuice. The quirky house in East Corinth, Vermont, was built solely for Tim Burton's cult classic and vanished after filming. Back to the Future Part 3. Marty ventures into Monument Valley, with Merrick Butte forming a striking backdrop in this Wild West adventure. Star Trek. The original series. Various iconic scenes were filmed across California, including renowned studios in Los Angeles. Casino, 1995. Ace's car explosion was filmed in downtown Las Vegas, a dramatic moment set against the city's neon-lit backdrop. Chinatown, filmed throughout Los Angeles, capturing the city's gritty streets and dramatic atmosphere. Breaking Bad. The intense methylamine heist was filmed in the remote desert of Lamy, New Mexico, heightening the episode's suspense. It, Beaver Lake Trail in Vancouver, British Columbia, was home to the sewer building scene. Nestled in Stanley Park, the Eerie spot helped bring Stephen King's horror classic to life. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The playground in the intro is Roberto Clemente Playground, where Will's legendary basketball shot set the tone for TV greatness. Planet of the Apes. The film's cave beach scenes were shot at Pirates Cove, Malibu. This secluded spot at Point Dume State Beach remains a cinematic landmark. The Godfather, a Bronx restaurant, was used for a pivotal scene, though the building now sits vacant. The Godfather, Clemenza's home in Brooklyn, remains a piece of local history, built in the 1920s. Godzilla, a famous New York skyscraper, was digitally altered to feature a massive hole, making it a recognizable landmark in the film. The Ring. The Eerie cabin from The Ring was filmed in a quiet, wooded area of Washington state, adding to its unsettling atmosphere. Terminator 2: Judgment Day. The chase through Park Road in Elysian Park, Los Angeles, is an unforgettable piece of cinematic adrenaline. The Karate Kid, 1984. Cobra Kai Dojo was filmed in Los Angeles, setting the stage for the legendary rivalry of this 80s classic. Cobra, 1986. The Crossroads Motel was built for the movie in Piru, California, but was removed after filming, leaving an empty lot. The Lawnmower Man, Angelo's house, located in South Pasadena, California, is part of a well-known filming hub featuring several iconic movie locations. Rocky's apartment in Philadelphia remains nearly unchanged since filming, with nearby structures having been demolished over the years. Zodiac. The chilling recreation of Paul Stine's murder was filmed at the same San Francisco intersection where the real crime took place in 1969. Back to the Future. The entrance to Lion Estates in Chino, California, marked Marty's electrifying leap back to 1955 in this time-traveling favorite. Escape from Alcatraz. The notorious Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay provided an authentic setting for Clint Eastwood's tense prison escape film. Night of the Living Dead, 1990. The farmhouse from the 1990 remake still stands in Washington, Pennsylvania, maintaining the chilling atmosphere of the zombie film. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The family house in Kingsland, Texas, is now Hooper's Restaurant, where fans can dine among movie memorabilia. Rain Man. The W.S. Kelly General Store in Guthrie, Oklahoma, provided the rustic backdrop for Raymond and Charlie's unforgettable road trip in this classic film. Ghostbusters. The Sedgwick Hotel scenes were filmed at the historic Millennium Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 3. This eerie house of horrors remains a haunting reminder of the brutal terror in this gruesome sequel. Breaking Bad. J.P. Wynn High School in New Mexico served as Walter White's workplace, where his transformation from teacher to kingpin began. Top Gun. Charlie catching up with Maverick was filmed in San Diego, a key location in this iconic military film. The Exorcist 3. Father Dyer waits for Lieutenant Kinderman at a historic location in Washington, D.C., an eerie setting fitting for the chilling film.